Hey guys, and welcome to my channel, Time is But a Window. Now for those of you who have no idea who I am, I'm an ex-Counter-Strike pro known for my reaction time and mid-picks on DDoS 2. Now right off the bat, I'm going to say that this video is more for me than it is for you guys. Now ever since CSGO came out, I've sort of felt like I've been stuck in a rut. I've never truly been able to fully adapt to the game coming over from Counter-Strike 1.6 and Source. Now why is this, you might ask? Well, the game plays very differently. Everything from the movement and mechanics being different to just straight up having more utility. But having gone pro in both 1.6 and Source prior, I took a very lazy approach to CSGO, feeling like I already earned it in the past. But now I feel it's about time I correct that. After all, the game's been out over 10 years. Now the best way to do that is to look at a player that has a playstyle similar to one you either want to emulate or already have. Hence why I picked Shiro for this video. Shiro is one of the top 5 AWPs in CSGO currently. And not only that, he's a newer player that grew up on CSGO, so he doesn't have any of those bad habits that you'd pick up from playing Counter-Strike 1.6 or Source. Now when studying a player, there's just too much information in a single demo to really pick up everything from just watching the demo. So it's best to just focus on one or two, maybe a few aspects of his game and try to learn from those. Now currently to this day, my biggest problem in CSGO is dealing with the movement speed and change of direction. Back in Counter-Strike Source, I was very good at knowing exactly how far someone was going to peek out, knowing exactly where someone could get to, and of course knowing exactly where to position my crosshair. All things I've never really felt able to rely on in CSGO. So my goal for today is to improve in these situations where someone's peeking out on me or I'm holding an angle. The first thing I noticed from watching Shiro play is that I'm really going to have to get better at playing around smoke. Now, I'm not sure if he could actually see the guy here, he just took a shot at the corner, but whatever it was, it worked for him. Taking spam shots at angles has always been a valid strategy in Counter-Strike. Something that I feel like I do pretty well already, so not something I can really gain anything from. The, I guess, good news is that he has the same problems rifling that I seem to have. This is that when people peek out, he seems to not know exactly where to put his crosshair, and people will sometimes just fly right past it. Which sucks, because that's one of the areas I was really hoping this demo would help me with, but let's see if he does a better job when he's using AWP. After all, this guy is a primary sniper. But just to confirm, you can see even on this round with the rifle, the same thing happens. He gets the first kill while his teammates flash for him. Easy kill on a blind guy, and then the second guy just runs right past his crosshair. Well, technically this guy stops right before he gets to his crosshair, but it still ends up working out the same way. Is this just bad crosshair placement, or is this just a fact of the game? I'll look into it deeper watching a player that's known for their rifling ability, but for now let's move on to AWPing. Now this is more of like the kind of situation that I'm talking about. Now, in Counter-Strike Source, this would be an easy kill because you couldn't jiggle peek something like this, especially jumping. If this guy did jump out in Counter-Strike Source, he'd be stuck in the momentum and I'd get an easy kill here. But in CSGO, it looks like you have to have contingencies. Now, my natural response would just to be hold a tighter angle and react a little bit faster. But obviously, that's not going to work in this game. Instead, he just falls back to a slightly more passive angle, and it shows you one thing, that even pro players can get lazy with their peaks. Now, as he was sitting here, I thought this guy might just jump around the corner like he did before, maybe jump wide this time, or maybe just try to jiggle jump it, but instead he just kind of casually peeks out into it. Now, there are a couple things I want to take notice of in this situation. Look at where his crosshair is. Look how far out from the wall he is. He's actually quite a bit farther than I would usually hold. I'd be holding that little gap in the background. Now, the guy on the other team did technically try to jiggle peek it, but it was way too wide of a jiggle peek because it looks like he got a little bit lazy with it, not really expecting an AWP to be on that angle. I think we would have both gotten that kill, but here's something I definitely wouldn't have done. I would not have played this smoke like this. He's playing inside the smoke and trying to use it to get a little advantage and get behind a guy so he can get a pick. Now, while it didn't technically work out for him here, it does work out later on. I think there's a good reason for that. And you guessed it, it's because he used a pistol. Not only that, but if you pay close attention, you can see that he's jiggling in and out of the smoke to make it harder for the terrorist to hit him. It kind of plays like it's a wall rather than a spammable translucent object. Another area that I think is notable because look at where he has his crosshair. Meanwhile, I would have my crosshair over there towards the stairs to pick them as they were coming up. If there's one thing I'm consistently noticing is that I need to keep my crosshair farther away from the angle. Here he takes over holding this area because he knows that his teammate can't watch it from library and just watches that gap and gets an easy kill. But before you go and do this in a game, remember he does have a teammate in pit watching halls and lane for him. Alright, back to studying his crosshair placement. He's holding an angle where you can see a wide gap of that wall over there. Usually I'd hold it where I'd only probably see up to about where his crosshair is, let alone hold it out that wide. Again, here's another one of those situations where the guy jiggles in the background. He does manage to leg him, but look at how he's not obsessed with getting that kill. Meanwhile, my dumb ass would probably throw a nade down there and stick around a little bit longer trying to get that kill since he's so low. It seems that once you take a shot, you want to constantly be moving around. Take a shot, fall back to another location, take a shot, fall back to another location. Okay, that's pretty much it for the first half. Here we can find on the second half pistol round, he's very dynamic with his movement. Boosting up for the elevated advantage here. Now this isn't the only time he does this in this game. On the terrorist side, he seems to do this all the time, so if you can find someone in your group when you're playing to just boost you here and there, you'll probably get a lot of picks. This is just nutty, and I think it's kind of lucky. But back to what I was saying about boosts. Yeah, strafes up into a doorbell boost and just sprays down his opponent. Easy kill. One other thing to take note of is both times when he gets boosted up on this wall, he gets boosted up on the left side and strafes into the right side to get the peek. Try not to just jump straight up and peek into it, or else you're at a major disadvantage. Now again, he's not the greatest rifler, but as you can see here, once he picks up that rifle, he knows the CTs need to peek out onto him, so he just starts spamming over there towards the wall. Technically, if he spams at the right time and the guy peeks out into it, he'll get an easy kill and not have to aim too much for it. Now, if you're a good rifler, ignore this altogether. This kill was actually very well done. He sits behind the pit area listening, and as soon as he hears that utility, he immediately peeks out and tries to get a cheeky kill before the flash goes off, or for that matter, before the smoke covers up his view. Obviously, the double kill was just luck, but there is something to take away from this, and that is, as a 1.6 and Source player, I don't really wall enough. In Counter-Strike 1.6, all of the walls felt paper thin. It was actually by texture how far you could shoot, so if a wall was only one texture thick, it would take away half the damage, no matter how thick that wall was. In Counter-Strike Source, there were a few spam locations, but then when I moved over to CSGO, I really kind of stopped spamming walls or taking shots to the edges of walls. But as you can see from this guy's play, they're still pretty effective. And I'm surprised that it's really effective enough where you can shoot through the wall and one guy's head and still get the kill on the second guy. I can't even tell you guys how many times I've shot someone through a wall in this game with an AWP and only done like 8 damage. Which is why I generally just don't do it anymore. But I guess it's something I really need to reintroduce into my repertoire, just in case I do get moments like this, and if not, I can always just fall back. Again, just look how slippery the opponents are in this game. There's really not much you can do about it. And it's really nice to know that it's not just me who is struggling with those kind of situations. Now this is actually surprisingly clever. Check this out in slow motion. Now you would think that he would just turn around and aim on this guy's head and shoot him in the head, but that is a difficult shot, especially with people being able to AD/AD spam in this game. Instead, he knows that this guy's in an impossible situation and needs to just take a shot and get away, so he pre-aims his crosshair towards where the guy needs to exit at. Here, watch it one more time. That is something I would never do in a million years, since I'm always actively trying to aim on a target. Maybe I should work on predicting what they're going to do a little bit better to give myself an easier shot. Alright, that's pretty much everything I learned from this demo, but I will probably check out more demos of him in the future. So here's a quick recap of what I feel I've learned from this demo. When holding angles, I need to remember to aim out wider than I expect. Boost to peak angles whenever the opportunity presents itself. Oh, and strafe into those boosted peaks. Don't feel scared to play in smokes, and when you do place smokes, play them like as if they're walls, strafing in and out using them as cover. Oh, and when playing defensively, don't play static. Try to move around a lot, forcing the enemy to jiggle peek everything. Then punish them when they get lazy. And the final thing is to make aiming easier on yourself by aiming where your opponent's going to head when it's obvious. Let's be honest, with the AD spam in this game, tracking someone can be a pain in the ass, but when you know they have to get away behind cover, you can just aim right before the cover and take them down. This might end up being the most important thing I've learned from this entire demo. Anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you did like it, hit that like button, and subscribe to see more videos like this in the future.